moon and the launch of India's Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft.
Is not the sort of size of a car that you would expect.
What's happening because it's going to orbit.
Today we will take you on an exciting voyage through time, exploring the remarkable history and unparalleled success of one of the world's most inspiring space organizations, the Indian Space Research Organization. An Arcus rocket is being loaded into a launch tube at Tamba Launching Station. In the early days of ISRO, rocket parts were often transported on bicycles and bullock carts. Modern space research in India can be traced to the 1920s, when scientist S.K. Mitra conducted a series of experiments sounding the ionosphere through ground-based radio in Kolkata. Later, Indian scientists like C.V. Raman and Meghnad Saha contributed to scientific principles applicable to space sciences. After 1945, important developments were made in coordinated space research in India by two scientists, Vikram Sarabhai and Homi Bhabha. In 1950, the Department of Atomic Energy was founded with Bhabha as its secretary. It provided funding for space research throughout India. During this time, tests continued on aspects of meteorology and the Earth's magnetic field, a topic that had been studied in India since the establishment of the Colaba Observatory in 1823. In 1954, the Aryabhata Research Institute of Observational Sciences was established in the foothills of the Himalayas. Under the government of Indira Gandhi, INCOSPAR was superseded by ISRO. Later in 1972, a Space Commission and Department of Space were set up to oversee space technology development in India specifically, and ISRO was brought under DOS. Efforts to develop an orbital launch vehicle began after mastering sounding rocket technology. The concept was to develop a launcher capable of providing sufficient velocity for a mass of 35 kilograms to enter low Earth orbit. It took 7 years for ISRO to develop a satellite launch vehicle capable of putting 40 kilograms into a 400-kilometer orbit. An SLV launch pad, ground stations, tracking networks, radars, and other communications were set up for a launch campaign. The SLV's first launch in 1979 carried a Rohini technology payload but could not inject the satellite into its desired orbit. It was followed by a successful launch in 1980 carrying a Rohini Series 1 satellite, making India the 7th country to reach Earth's orbit after the USSR, the US, France, the UK, China, and Japan. Efforts to develop a medium-lift launch vehicle capable of putting 600-kilogram class spacecraft into 1,000-kilometer sun-synchronous orbit had already begun in 1978. The SLV-3 later had 2 more launches before discontinuation in 1983. ISRO's Liquid Propulsion Systems Center was set up in 1985 and started working on a more powerful engine, Vikas, based on the French Viking. 2 years later, facilities to test liquid-fueled rocket engines were established and development and testing of various rocket engine thrusters began. Another solid-fueled rocket, augmented satellite launch vehicle based upon SLV-3 was being developed, and technologies to launch satellites into geostationary orbit. ASLV had limited success and multiple launch failures. It was soon discontinued.
T-minus 4 minutes, T-minus 5 minutes, T-minus 1 minute, T-minus 40 seconds. Computer put a hold, don't launch it. Computer says don't launch it. I am the mission director, I have to take a decision. Everything is on. Behind me there are 6 experts. They saw computer database coming in at screen and they see the pictures in the screen, they said there's a problem.
The arrival of PSLV in the 1990s became a major boost for the Indian space program. With the exception of its first flight in 1994 and 2 partial failures later, PSLV had a streak of more than 50 successful flights. PSLV enabled India to launch all of its low Earth orbit satellites, small payloads to GTO, and hundreds of foreign satellites. Along with the PSLV flights, the development of a new rocket, a geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle, GSLV, was going on. India tried to obtain upper stage cryogenic engines from Russia's Glavcosmos, but was blocked by the US from doing so. As a result, KVD-1 engines were imported from Russia under a new agreement which had limited success ISRO was under US government sanctions between the 6th of May 1992 to the 6th of May 1994, after the United States refused to help India with Global Positioning System (GPS) technology during the Kargil War. ISRO was prompted to develop its own satellite navigation system, RNS, which it is now expanding further. In 2003, when China sent humans into space, Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee urged scientists to develop technologies to land humans on the moon, and programs for lunar, planetary and crewed missions was started. ISRO launched Chandrayaan-1 in 2008, purportedly the first probe to verify the presence of water on the moon, and the Mars Orbiter mission in 2013, the first Asian spacecraft to enter Martian orbit. India was the first country to succeed at that on its first attempt. But the journey didn't end there. In 2008 and 2019, ISRO embarked on Chandrayaan missions, exploring the moon's surface and searching for water molecules. These missions provided valuable data and images, enhancing our understanding of the moon's geology and cosmic history. The Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft on Tuesday reached its highest intended orbit around the Earth, where it will remain for another 6 days before embarking on its journey towards the moon. The Indian Space Research Organization said the fifth and final orbit-raising maneuver was performed on Tuesday afternoon, putting the spacecraft in an elliptical orbit that is 27,609 kilometers from the Earth's surface at its furthest, and 236 kilometers at the nearest. Before this, the spacecraft was in an elliptical orbit around the Earth. Chandrayaan-3, launched on July 14th, is slated to make a soft landing on the moon's surface next month. It is currently going around the Earth in elliptical orbits, sequentially raising the heights of these orbits. On August 1st, it will release itself from Earth's orbit and start moving directly toward the moon. Once near the moon, it will progressively get into lower and lower lunar orbits. The final descent to the moon's surface would take place from a circular orbit of about 100 kilometers around August 23rd or 24th. Today, as we stand in awe of ISRO's accomplishments, we are reminded that they are not only a space agency, but a beacon of inspiration for dreamers worldwide. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through the history and success of ISRO. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more exciting content on space exploration.